I want to share this with you guys. I tried some of the keto raviolis recipes around the internet, and they really didn't work out too great. Bad flavor, bad texture, it didn't feel right. So I decided to invent my own. And because, especially, my wife Gigi loves pasta so much that I wanted to do something extra surprising for her birthday.
Yeah.
And it came up, and I came up with this idea. Amazingly, it's so great you can't really even tell the difference, especially when it cooks up and you pair it with a nice, great fresh tomato sauce. I'm so very proud of this invention, so please share with your loved ones and don't forget to credit us. As always, like it and subscribe. It's for free.
I love this ravioli so much, and my husband invented for me. I'm so proud of him. You guys are going to love this one, I promise you. Bon appetit!
This is 2 cups of regular shredded mozzarella. Putting that in a pan on low heat. And keep an eye on it, don't go away. Stir it until it melts. Easy, no fuss. Melt your mozzarella cheese in a nonstick pan. Stir it, work it. It starts to come together as the cheese dough. Gets brighter color, that's what you want. That's what you need to make this unbelievable ravioli. I'm going to take this off the heat. Cheese in the bowl. Try and get it all out. Since you did measure it, you want to be accurate. So now we're going to try and incorporate our eggs. So again, there's 2 whole eggs already mixed up. And just stir this. It's going to be hard at first, but it should combine and start to come together. If you've got cold eggs and your cheese is too hot, that's not going to work out too well. As you can see, I just keep smashing it together. Okay, a few minutes later, you can see it's starting to come together. Start to mix it, just like that. Alright, so this is still liquidy. Adding in 2 tablespoons oat fiber, 6 tablespoons of Vital Wheat Gluten, and 1/4 teaspoon of Xanthan Gum. So that is the magic that's going to give us a pasta-like dough. It's not done yet, but you can see that it's already starting to resemble a nice dough. Keep patient and keep working it. It's almost like kneading it, although it's too sticky to do it by hand, but you can kind of just do it with a spatula and a bowl like this. You can still see some chunks of cheese. Our goal is to have it all be uniform. So let's keep going. Okay, I got out my board. I'm gonna roll it out. It's getting there. I'm just gonna do it by hand. Get a little olive oil. Might need some more, but that'll help us knead it together without it sticking. Oh, that's nice. This is coming together. Just this is helping it get totally incorporated into a nice lovely dough. So for ravioli, obviously we want 2 sheets. We're going to roll this out. I'm going to divide it in half. Put 1 ball aside. Start getting this one into a nice big flat sheet. Take your time rolling it out. You want to keep it rectangular as much as you can. Check it occasionally. Make sure it's not getting too wrinkled. A little bit's fine. If it's like folding on itself, you want to open it up and stretch it out again. Alright, just a few minutes of work and it already got really big. I'll just square it off a little and put these chunks on the corners and roll up some more. The wider and more rectangular it is, like this, the nicer shaped raviolis you can get out of it. There we go. One layer is ready. We're gonna do it again. I'm gonna put this on the side. I'm gonna tray with the silicone thing. They're ready. I'm pretty happy with this. We're gonna put it next to the other one while we make our filling. So they don't dry out, I'm just keeping them all layered up. Layer 1, layer 2, and keep it on top. We'll put those aside. Ricotta filling is pretty straightforward. Container of ricotta. Season as you like it. Salt. Got pepper. Pepper. To your taste, and whatever Italianish herbs you like. Your oregano. Don't overdo it, but a little bit of garlic powder is nice. Just a little bit. Whatever you got for green herbs. I got some thyme, a little bit of that, and a little bit of the dried basil. I've got fresh basil too, but I want to keep that in the sauce. This is where you can get creative. This is it, just stir. And it's super important, give it a little taste. And decide, yeah, it needs a bit more salt. Definitely pepper. And that'll be good. Yep, ready to go. Okay, we've got our sheets of dough, we've got our filling. Let's start making ravioli. So you want it to be, you want to look at your size and figure out the size of it. So I'm going to try to do 4 this way and about 6 this way. I'm going to about 3 fingers wide, let's say. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, that looks about right. So I'm just making a little mark here to guide myself as I put the filling down. Actually, it's cutting through a little bit, that's because my knife is so sharp. That's fine too. Number 1 rule, don't overfill. I'm going to use my smaller spoons. And just like that. So if you overfill, your edges won't seal and you will lose the filling and all your hard work for nothing. So let's see. Some squares might be a little bigger. You can use a little more, but be careful. Beautiful. So now we're going to take our other sheet of dough, handling it carefully. So from one end to the other. Oh boy. This is where you can take your time and trim and patch again, because it's hard to get them perfectly rectangular. So you got a little tear here, we'll fix it up. It's a pretty forgiving dough, fortunately. The toughness of the gluten, plus the cheese, and the xanthan gum give it a nice flexibility. We definitely want the thin pasta style. All right, this one's gonna be a tester. No problem. Try and get the air out from in between the fingers. Make sure you've got 2 layers touching all around. Okay, so we're ready to go down and cut them up. Right in between your cheese circles, try and make sure you've got enough dough in between to make the seal. Now check them out one by one. Take it, you'll see the 2 layers. Squeeze every single one all the way around. so that it becomes sealed. Ready? Go. Okay, we've got 24 raviolis all squeezed out and ready to dry. Leave them out a couple hours until they get really dry. They're really still kind of damp, and they'll be easier to handle for cooking. In the meantime, let's make a lovely sauce. Alright, this is a quick fresh tomato sauce for the ravioli. Goes well with that, whatever sauce you want. We're just going to do a little bit of garlic. Olive oil in the hot pan. Cut up our nice tomato. Salt. Put that on top. Don't let the juice out. We're also going to do like a spoon of tomato paste just for color. Add black pepper. A tiny bit of keto-friendly sugar, just like a half spoon like that. We'll let that simmer down for a while. All right, we have dried out keto raviolis. These have been sitting out an hour and a half. Not greasy anymore, just dry, ready to cook. Simmering, very salty water, nice wide pan, so it's easier to handle. Let's get cooking. They cook very quickly, like in 2 minutes. So we're just gonna drop them in, make sure they stay separated. Hopefully they stay together. Gently make sure they don't stick to the bottom or stick to each other. So the color will lighten up and they'll get nice and puffy. That's how you know they're kind of done. If you can keep them away from each other. See how they're all starting to float? That's a good sign. Just like regular pasta. Cook ravioli like this too. Almost done. Give them a few more moments. Okay, these have been cooking 2 or 3 minutes. I'm gonna carefully get them out. Check it a little bit. Very nice. That'll be great. So I'm gonna put it on a plate with a paper towel so we don't have too much excess moisture. And we put them with the sauce. Put the rest in the water. One tip is don't leave them on the paper towel for too long. Let the excess moisture go away, and then get them on your plate, because then they can stick. Wow, look at that. Let's eat. Delicious. Who loves ravioli? They're cooking up. Let's eat them. Wow. A delicious keto pasta feast of ravioli.